know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you.
And our main one, and we're Unplugged, Free Your Mind, a show where we discuss and share our perspectives on an array of topics and world news from an unfiltered, unbiased, and unplugged point of view. Welcome back to another week of Unplugged. Thank you for joining. As you come in, like always, shout out where you're coming from, city, state. We like to do a roll call, see where all our people calling in from or dialing in from. As always, like, share, subscribe. We appreciate you all. We have gotten to 500. We're on the way to 1,000. Thank you guys so much. It would not have been, this wouldn't happen without you guys. So we appreciate you all every week tuning in with us. Texas in the building, DC in the building, Holly, Judah, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Peace, peace.
All right. I just wait a minute.
We got a special guest tonight. He has been on our show before. We're waiting on him to come in right now. I'm gonna wait till he pops in, and then I'll give him the grand introduction as only we know how to do. But until then, me and Fu we just gonna kick it. Y'all got any questions, anything y'all want to talk about, throw it in the chat. We'll throw it up on the screen. We'll chop it up. Fu, what's going on with you? I know what happened Monday. Well, you told me what happened Monday. So let the people know what happened Monday if they don't follow you.
All right.
First off, go ahead.
There you go. Yeah, mine is. This is a gift from my girlfriend. I love the fact that she had got it from me. Got it for me. I think either maybe like 2 years ago. Yeah. So I rock this once in a while, and people be turning their nose up when I rock mine.
And mine said, "Fuck your taxes" is what they told their masters. This is one of my old shirts, man. This shirt like 5 years old. Sold out pretty quick, but still applies today.
All right. So as y'all know, I play golf and I play golf in these tournaments. And last year I would always come on here saying how I played like elephant shit, or I played like dog shit, or dinosaur shit, whatever. It just all depended. It was because I usually would have a big number. I might have a 10 or something like that. Well, this past Monday, I didn't play good. Excuse me, I didn't play bad, but I didn't play good enough to win because I had bad holes when I shouldn't have had them. The person who won it shot a 78. And for me, I shot an 85. I shot an 85, but I had 3 double bogeys. And then on 4 holes that I was on in regulation, I 3-putted. So right there, that's 6. That's 7 shots right there. So I would have tied with the person who won. But it's a part of the game. And I talked to a friend of mine who lives in Miami, a friend of mine who's a pro out of Jamaica. And I sent him a video of my swing. I sent him a couple of videos of my swing. He gave me a drill to do. So I'm going to be doing this drill for like the next week. That's really going to help me. I'm very close to breaking through. Y'all hear me talk about these numbers and everything like that. When you hear me saying I'm shooting 70 something, that means it's good. Like 80 and less. The number 80 is like a magic number. 80 and less means I'm playing damn good. That's coming. So it's just a matter of time. And golf is a type of sport where doors can be opened up because everybody can't play golf well. when you start talking about on certain levels. So when you do, they pretty much they kind of come for you in a good way because they want you to sponsor. They'll sponsor you and shit like that. But that's the move. So we'll see. It's just a matter of time, yo.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And let me give the people me telling the story about what happened a couple of nights ago. I told Jermaine already. As y'all know, we've had Professor James Small on the show. Unfortunately, he was on our show when our original show when it got deleted. So we got to find that. We're gonna find an episode to make sure that we upload it. Well, he's also a consultant on Godfather Harlem. If anybody watched that episode, they know how powerful it was. They know how powerful it was. So after the show, my gut told me to call him just to commend him on the contribution that he made to the show, especially on that episode. And he picked up the phone. So I commended him. He was like, it was powerful. Everybody I talked to about it, they cried because it was that intense. You got some more details on what you already knew happened and what you may have seen on screen before, but not in that detail with certain things that played out. And he had said that they had a screening in New York. Forrest Whitaker was there and everything like that. And he was even Professor James Small was crying. And mind you, he contributed to the damn episode. He lived it. He was there and things like that. So I had said to him, you know, we want you on the show again. He said that's not going to be a problem. And he told me to call him next week to kind of set it up. So just so everybody will know, he will be a guest on the show again very, very soon, probably within the next month. But then I said to him, I'm going to be in Jersey in May, and I would take him out to dinner so we could meet face to face. He was like, no problem. He's looking forward to it. Then he said, if you're going to be up here in May, then you need to come with us to Malcolm X's grave on the 19th, which happens to be his birthday. The ironic part about that is I had already planned on going to Jersey that weekend. So I'm going to make sure I get there on the 18th so I can go there on the 19th. So it just shows you how powerful the universe is. In fact, he picked up the phone. The fact the conversation went to that, and I'm going to end up meeting him face to face, along with the fact of going to Malcolm X's grave site, which I never would have thought I would have had a chance to go to because I didn't know where it was. He said it's in New York. So I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there without question, like without hesitation, because going there, you know, we can always speak to our ancestors. We can do that. But to be able to go where his bones are and things like that, and to just speak my piece, that right there is gonna mean a lot to me. So if anybody else wants to go, you just need to be up in New York on May 19th. I don't know how it's gonna. I'm damn sure gonna drive, unless I don't think it's gonna be no train to wherever that shit is. I doubt it. So I'll drive. So if anybody want to go, you got to ride. You can ride with me.
That's what's up. That's what's up, yo. Well, before our guests come on, let's go ahead and touch on some of these topics that's going on here, man. Shit, there's so much going on.
You know I'm out the loop.
Where do we start? Well, let's. He just popped in. He just popped in. So we'll save this for the end of the show. So just a brief introduction. Like I said before, this young man has been on our show before. Great inspiration. We haven't physically met, but we chop it up from time to time. I followed him, and Fools also followed him. And man, he's doing great things down here in the state of South Carolina, where I'm from. Not exactly in the region where I'm from, but down in the lower part, Orangeburg area. That in that area. Without further ado, Marcel Dixon.
Hey y'all.
What's going on, my brother?
I'm good. I apologize. I thought the link was in another email, and I just went through our series of email and found it. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Man, we great, man.
Good, man. We good.
Man,
I'm glad to hear that.
I watched you tear into some ASS on Miss Williamson. Was that today or was that yesterday?
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday?
Yeah, that was yesterday. So much happens. Yeah, that was yesterday.
Right, that was yesterday. So I clipped together all because you can't, on Twitter, you can't put it all in one. So I clipped it together. I'm gonna play a little bit of it. And then after I play a little bit of it, I'm gonna let you, kind of touch on it. Just for the people who don't know you, because it's been a while since you've been on our show. I think it was like right before you started really cranking up your campaign. That's when you were on our show. Just give a little brief introduction of who you are and what you got, and not what you got going. Just who you are. We'll touch on what you got going on as the show progresses.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marcel Dixon, and I am a reparationist candidate for South Carolina's 6th U.S. Congressional District.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Everybody follow him on Marcel, in a private chat, put your Twitter and your Instagram and all that stuff in there, and then I'll get it scrolling across the screen. And then so we're gonna play a little bit of what happened yesterday.
And before he plays that clip, for everybody out there, if you're watching this show, for all of our subscribers, make sure you donate to his campaign. It don't matter how much it is, just donate, because he's one of the brothers that we got to make sure that we get in, because when he get that tap on his shoulder, he's not gonna give a fuck. He's gonna tell him to kiss his ass.
Hi, yes, so I concur with a lot of things that you said. One, I ran for office, and I'm running yet again against the king maker, James Clyburn. But my attitude, if you're the king maker, then your district should be living like royalty, and they're not. So I know exactly how they try to shame you, exclude you, and slander your name. And my thing is this: we as Americans need to go back home, okay? When did we start worrying? Well, see, I'm a Black American Gullah Geechee. We've always had to stand up and fight for everything. And I know you was talking about how things used to be. Well, I was born, my great-great-grandparents are still alive. My great-grandparents were all still alive except one. And they told me the good old days for y'all weren't good old days for them. So they're used to having to fight and be slandered and be excluded and be denigrated. I want to thank you for being, and I'm going to say this because they like to say man enough, I'm going to thank you, a woman, for being to do not what's popular, not what's easy, but what's right.
Yes.
And you're running on a reparations platform. And that's the right thing to do. Now, I do want to give you some pointers, if you're open to it, about your reparations plan, because I faced all kinds of backlash, which I gladly accept. I'm here for it. My ancestors who were fighting in these rice marshes and swamps, did it back down to the backlash? I will be an insult to my great-grandmother who died 101 if I back down because of people saying mean things to me. One, reparations comes from the federal government. It does not come from your tax dollars. America pays reparations every single day. They're paying it to Ukrainians right now. They're paying it when they take care of people in the country illegally and going to the truth. They paid it to the Japanese Americans who were interned. Even though my great-grandfather helped to save the Jews from the Nazis, he came back to America and he was locked out of the GI Bill, which gave trillions of dollars to many white veterans that they say built the middle class. And yet those same Jews right now are getting reparations.
Wait, I am a Jew. What Jews right now are getting? I am a Jew. What Jews right now are getting reparations?
The Jews were Holocaust
survivors.
What? The Jews were Holocaust survivors.
But they're not getting reparations from the American government.
No, they're not. What the American government did in 2014 agreed to facilitate a $12 million payback to Holocaust survivors.
That had nothing to do with the U.S. government giving money to
the U.S. government did facilitate that payback.
That facilitation is with an administrative Germany. Okay. Germany paid reparations.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there. Take us through that that little bit of exchange that y'all had, Marcel.
So I'm really just breaking down how reparations is not a new idea, period. Not even necessarily in America. I'm just talking about reparations has been done in modern times for groups that have been done wrong by government entities and how they've been given direct monetary payments. Because Her platform calls for just $1 trillion, which I know we're going to get to that. That's insultingly low, as I'm going to say in the video. But it calls for our money, those little breadcrumbs, to go to a group of leaders who will, over the next 20 years, will decide what they do with our money. That was not the standard done for the Japanese. That's sure as hell not the standard done for, and this is the word I'm going to keep saying, the Jews now, who are Holocaust survivors. You're not going to tell me what the hell I can say and can't say. And y'all, we can't be letting them try to intimidate us and tell us we can't. I am not Kyrie, and I am not going to fold. They should know that by now. So before I can even finish my point, she tries to put words in my mouth and say that I said that the America paid Jews reparations.
First of all, reparations.
Exactly. They facilitated it, and that's almost the damn same thing. Because how dare them, as I bring up in that video, how dare them try to facilitate reparations for any other group when they have yet to do it for us, the group they have terrorized the most. But second of all, a person can argue that the billions America sends to Israel each and every damn year is reparations. A person can argue that after World War II, America and Britain, which helped establish pretty much the nation of Israel, they were definitely integral in its establishment. People can argue that was a form of reparations. People can argue that when the Obama administration earmarked $12 million to assist specifically Holocaust survivors who were living below the poverty line, that was reparations. But it is a fact that America helped to facilitate the payment of reparations, $100,000 each minimum, to each Holocaust survivor in the U.S. from a train company in France. That's what I was saying. So she tried to say that's not true. She's a damn liar, or she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about, and either one is pathetic.
And to that point, because when I watched that exchange, I remember this a while ago when we were talking about this on our show. I don't think you weren't on the show, but this came to mind, and I'll let everybody hear this woman, what she has to say.
To be on the show. And I brought you one more thing because there's a kind of unusual document in my family that I wanted to show you. You know, there's a debate about reparations in this country now, and a lot of people say that they're impractical, they're impossible to implement. But, you know, my grandmother and that sort of stable, happy life you see her having is possible in part because she actually gets reparations. She gets hundreds of dollars each month from the German government. And I brought you one of the statements so that people could actually see that this is a real thing.
Yeah, but I'm so fascinated why she can be so sunny, considering all that she has seen, to see the death of her brothers, the little nieces and the nephews that clearly didn't make it. I marvel at people like that, and I'm so glad that you brought the story to us.
Jody, it's Anthony, I find the reparations thing so interesting because the check itself is essentially an admission by the German government that we wronged you. And so in that sense, it's a very powerful, it's not just money, it's a powerful statement in its own way. How long has your grandmother been getting it, and has it helped her emotionally in some way?
Well, she's gotten it, I think, since the 50s or the 60s. It's always been a part of my family, part of the family story. That, you know, the language I wish you could see is so spooky. They come in German, and it says for Schaden, which means for harm, which is, you know, just these words hint at the kind of universe of loss that she endured. But when we taped that interview last week, I asked her, I said, Grandma,
we don't need to hear that here no more. We made our point. And that's to your point, what you were saying. The U.S. help facilitate.
And they're doing it now. But, you know, I want to just talk about that news clip. You see how Gail King, how she tried to pivot. You got a white Jewish woman who is literally saying, oh, no. Reparations can be done, should be done, and I am proof of how they can be done, how they can help repair harms. My grandmother, and you got Gail King, who pivots away from that. That's why she marvels in their resilience. Who's been more resilient than us, Black American descendants of American slaves? I don't know about y'all, but the gravity of our people not having reparations, not a second goes by where it is not realized by me that any suffering, harm, or anything we want to or need right now but can't afford or want to do, what dream we want to accomplish but can't accomplish because of lack of resources, that is at the hands of the American government. I think we need to start thinking that way. Anytime we struggle, I would not have this struggle if I had my reparations or if they had paid reparations to our ancestors that were enslaved. The fact that they didn't means that we have now inherited that debt, and we are the debtees, and they are the ones who are going to be the payees.
Yeah.
I'm gonna before you play this video, I want to kind of touch on something. Notice what she said. She said that the check pretty much says in German that we did you harm. So like they're admitting it. That is one of the issues right now why they want to fight and not give reparations to indigenous people over here, mainly because they don't want to admit that they're wrong. They do everything. They talk about, they got people who want to research it and they do everything else and dance around that shit, but they never want to admit the shit. And that right there alone is a problem because like pretty much y'all both have said, they'll pay everybody else, but they're not going to pay that. That's the debt they don't want to pay because they don't want to admit that it happened.
Right, correct. And that's why they have to, and that's why they have to keep the narrative of the from Africa. They want to keep you disconnected from this continent. You're not, you're from somewhere else, so you're not from here. No, we're indigenous to here. So don't
also, and I know y'all say you'll get to it later, but that's why right now, Skamala is over in Ghana, and you had slow Joe Crow Biden giving billions to the African continent. They're trying to make it seem like, well, that's reparations. You know, we did the African continent wrong. No, you did the people who you stole from that continent wrong, and then you continue to terrorize their descendants in America wrong up until the 1970s government sanctioned, and you're still doing it today, even though it's technically not sanctioned by the government. So no, don't give it. You can give all the money to the African continent you want. That is not reparations for us, the people who were done wrong by those on the African continent, by those on the European continent, by those here in the United States of America. Now,
but even them doing that is still disingenuous because they're not doing it. They're not doing it because, oh, we care about the African continent and Ghana. No, they're doing it because they see China and Russia building this alliance, and they're like, oh, hold on.
Trying to stop that.
We got to come in here. We got to do something. Let them know that, hey, we're your allies. We're those people that they're not. When in reality, all of them motherfuckers going over there to pillage and plunder over there in Africa and been doing it for centuries.
And those African leaders are sitting there just rolling out the red carpet for them. But when Black Americans come over there to show love and warmth, some of them over there will sit there and excoriate the Black American. And I never understood, like I've been to the African continent before and stuff like that. You know, I wanted to get more in touch with my ancestral roots beyond the U.S., even though my roots are completely American. And I never really had any issues, but I never understood why some of us feel like we're obligated or have some sort of debt that we owe to the African continent. No, the debt is owed to us from all of them.
Yep.
Starting with the federal government in America, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's continue with the video. I hope I didn't go too far back.
The American government.
No, that's what the American government did in 2014, agreed to facilitate a $12 million payback to Holocaust survivors.
That had nothing to do with the U.S. government giving money to
the U.S. government did facilitate that payback.
That facilitation with an administrative Germany. Okay. Germany paid reparations.
Well, so my point is though,
the United States did not pay reparations.
But the United States government facilitated, and the point still exists. Me, a descendant of American slaves, haven't seen a penny yet. At the end of slavery, and I know you probably know these numbers, $42 to $84 trillion was the value of those of us who were enslaved. And I like the fact that you're running on reparations, but you have $1 trillion as the amount, and that is insultingly low. And I understand that you may have to make it palatable because to the American public, but if we want to do what's right, we got to do what's right. And the amount that we are owed is at $70 trillion minimum. If you just do $1 trillion, they said in the 20th century, Black Americans lost $400 billion in just land theft alone. That doesn't go to Jim Crow. That doesn't go to being left from the Homestead Act that gave white Americans $10,180. So I love the fact that we're running a reparations plan, but your plan is going to have to get those numbers right. It's got to be lineage based. The money needs to go directly to us. Because when the Japanese Americans got their money, it didn't go to a council. It went straight to them. Those Holocaust survivors, that money goes straight to them.
Right.
We deserve to have even more so.
Yeah, so let me say a couple of things. First of all, I honor how you stand up for your ancestors, and I stand up for mine. The United States has not paid $1 of reparations to Jews for the Holocaust. That is number one. And by the way, as far as some of the things you said about Roosevelt, which was true about his treatment of Black people, he didn't do well by the Jews during the 2 years when Hitler said they could still leave. I'm not standing here when I say
I'm gonna stop it right there. Anti-Semitic tropes. That's what she said. Now, I listened to. I didn't understand where she got that from, but I guess that's a way to kind of shift the narrative to get misdirection. So let's change it to the anti-Semitic so we can get off this reparation shit. Yeah.
So first of all, and just because sometimes they'll do this thing where a person is anti-Black American, and then another Black American comes along and say, "Well, I don't see anything wrong with it," and then the person who did it wrong say, "Well, you see, he don't see nothing wrong with it." But I will say this: there have been some Jewish people who I know follow me and have claimed I've been anti-Semitic before, which of course is a lie. It's just a way to try to shut me up, which ain't gonna work. But even they watched the video, was like, "Oh, where's the anti-Semitism?" Like some of them said they came on to see what I said and couldn't hear it. There were no anti-Semitic tropes. What it is, you have a person who is either a liar, okay, or doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, and instead of saying that what I said was not true, should have just said, "You know what? I don't know about that one, but I will look into it later." That's what a leader is supposed to do. I don't know a lot of things. People come to me with stuff, and if I don't know something, you will never have me sitting there pretending like I do. I will say in a minute, "I don't know about that, but I will look it up." That is what she should have done. But if she was sincere, she would have done it. Like you said, she was trying to deflect and pivot, because at the end of the day, a lot of these groups, it is not about wanting to do right by Black Americans. It is always about wanting to be a white savior for some of these white people who claim that they are for us. Because the moment we start saying this is what we're owed, and we start focusing specifically on us, and we compare and contrast how other groups have been through tragedies were awful, but far less, if you want to compare to what we've been through in regards to the scale and duration, the first thing they do is try to say, "Oh no, but we went through this too, and he wasn't good to us too." We ain't talking about you. So your platform, you say you're talking about reparations. That's what I was talking about. So your focus should have been on Black Americans, and you should have definitely sat there and listened to what a Black American is saying, because I said I have pointers for your reparations plan that I want to offer you to help. I couldn't even get to that part because she cut me off, but I bet you as the video plays, she regretted cutting me off the way it went down, because I am not respectable. You're not going to shut me up.
Yeah.
Marcel, I want to offer a suggestion to you. You need to see if you can get in contact with her. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we know what you want to do. And by knowing what you want to do, use her to get her donors. The motherfuckers that'll donate to her, maybe some of them will donate to you, because that's the objective anyway. We got to do what we got to do to get you in office. You know what I'm saying? And the great thing about it is, it ain't like you ain't going to kiss her ass. We know that's not going to motherfucking happen. But she needs to understand that you can benefit her, because she can't speak to our people the way she just did. It won't work. So she would need you in order to get over that. To get over that hump, she would need, and press that shit. Fuck it, because you're going to end up winning in the long run anyway.
So here's what happened afterwards that was not caught on camera. And I know you're going to play the rest of the video, but I can just give this one. This is not on camera anyway. Her team actually a part of the video, you can see the director for her party here in South Carolina, Marcarius, he comes over to me, and I texted him the links. Let me get my campaign phone, which has definitely seen better days. But I text him, and I don't want to put his number. Let me cover it up. But anyway, I texted him the links for the articles to which I was referring, and he said he would get it to her. But the woman, her name is Shatera, that very nice looking dark skinned black woman that was brought saying about me. She said, you know what, I think y'all should speak. Because sometimes people get, the passion and gets misconstrued. And when she took me over to Marianne, saying she was still nasty, because leave the Jews out of it. We have a conversation. That's where you went wrong. I said to her, Jew. You are never going to tell me what comes out of my mouth. Person, you are going to shut up. Now, and it went downhill from there. You don't tell me what I can and cannot say. My ancestors built this nation. Abraham Lincoln said, if it was not for my ancestors, this nation would have fallen. We invented over thousands of things in this nation, several of them that have progressed and modernized the world. We have contributed over trillions of dollars in this nation's economy, built cities, slave-built infrastructure, still contributes trillions to this nation's economy. That's not talking about the businesses we started, the taxes we pay, all the lives we save in different industries. And we have not seen a penny from it. You are not going to tell me, a descendant of those people, what I can and cannot say. Now.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, these politicians, these so-called progressive politicians, they're so freaking ingenuous.
They're full of it. Exactly.
And this is what pisses me off, because what she doing to you is, you are somebody who is in the reparations fight. You have access to the numbers, which she probably has access to some of these numbers as well. But it's the same thing that they did to the doctors doing C-19, where that were going against the agenda. They didn't want to hear other experts. Why not hear what you have to say, exactly, and take and put it part of your plan? But no, you want to go to the deflection, because you don't want to have a real conversation about it. Because if they really want to have a real conversation about reparations in this country, they will be talking to Sandy Darity. They'll be talking to Dr. Claude Anderson, who maps it out in his books Powernomics. They will be talking about these experts that have already laid out the plan and the numbers for it. That's who they will be talking about. But they don't want to talk to them. They want to silence those people. They want to silence you guys.
So she actually has spoken, I believe, with Dr. Sandy Darity. She's just chosen to ignore him, like she tried to shut up and deflect me. So you can't ignore me because I'm right in her face and I'm too loud. And I just move different, obviously, from Dr. Darity. So she tries to deflect and say, okay, what can I do? Oh, let me paint him as the angry black man. Okay, that didn't work. Let me paint him as anti-Semitic, because that's supposed to be the key phrase. It's supposed to share everybody else. Not with me. And if you could take Black Americans and talk about us, I have every right to mention how the Holocaust survivors, the Jews who are Holocaust survivors, how my great-grandfather did fight in World War II and rescued them, and how even like the lady you just showed, the Jewish woman you just showed, even a lot of them will acknowledge we got reparations. A lot of them. I have spoken to many Jewish people from Israel, actually, who have said to me they don't understand how America has not done reparations for us when they get it, or sometimes their parents get it. I've literally had many of them say it. And there are many Jewish people who are in favor of Black Americans getting reparations. I seriously doubt she is one of them.
Well, and here's another thing. So Ukraine, while we're giving all this money to Ukraine, I bet most of the American people don't even know that our tax dollars are paying them Social Security. So we can pay everything. We can do everything else. But, and I know the cliche is, well, you got to pick yourself up by your bootstrap. But when everything was stolen from around us, I don't think it's no bootstrap that you need to be picked up from, because everything was stripped from.
Only boot we ever saw was the ones they was beating us over the head with after we stitched and put those boots together. Then they took those same boots and beat us over the head with it, and then dug a hole and beat us in the hole. Then when we clawed out the hole, in spite of all the things they've thrown at us, they beat us further in the hole and dig the hole deeper and say, why are you dirty? Why are you in the hole? So we have pulled ourselves with we pulled ourselves up with our bootless straps more times than any other group in the world. Ain't no other group in America has done what we've done. We came out of slavery being terrorized by anti-Black American vicious white mob trash, being terrorized by the government, not having a penny, being illiterate, not having food, not having land, not having nowhere to go. And we built not one, not two, not three, not four, but over 50 Black Wall Streets. They destroyed the majority of them. We were still inventing. Look at, I don't know if y'all see on my Twitter page, I've been doing a new Black inventor every single day, because Black history is every day for me. You know, I think I'm gonna keep it up till April. So just some of the things we've invented: the home security system that is now used by billions of buildings in the world, the gas mask, okay, the voice over internet protocol that we are using right now. Y'all know a Black American woman invented this. The color PC monitor, a Black American man invented this. If any group is the epitome of picking yourself up by your bootless straps, it's Black Americans.
And I don't agree with everything Trevor Noah said, because he's one of these motherfuckers that I don't like that's just my own personal opinion. But he makes a good point with this, so I'll play it.
Just go to like one group, or should it target people that are in the same kind of socioeconomic group? Because
that's an interesting question. What do you mean by that?
there are white people that have been disenfranchised recently.
Recently is the key. Recently is the key.
The country deindustrialized, right? So a lot of people in manufacturing jobs and stuff.
Right. But so to your question, I think you have to understand what the word reparations means first. So reparations, you are repairing something that you have broken. You are paying for something that you were supposed to pay for. I'm not saying that there aren't people living in America today who are suffering and are going through pain and strife because of what's happening when it comes to, the machines taking jobs, factories becoming industrialized, etc. But reparations is a specific conversation about a specific time in America, and that is Black people were slaves. You know what I mean? I've even heard people say oh, but there were some of the Irish who were indentured. Slavery. Look at the numbers, look at the time, look at the level of work. You could not work toward your freedom. For most Black people in America, this was a time when you lived and died as a slave. And so that's what reparations is about. And so I hear what you're saying, but I think that's a completely separate conversation that needs to be had about the now. Because if you are not careful, what you then do is you combine everybody's suffering into the same bowl, and you make it seem like all injustices have the same weighting, and they don't.
And that's what they do. They try to group everybody together. When Biden was pressed on the reparation, he was like, well, what about the Native Americans? And what about how are we gonna, all this mumble jumble, which is a bunch of bullshit.
Funny, I don't ever recall Slow Joe Crow Biden saying to those Native Americans, some tribes who get so much money, one tribe, each tribal member gets $1 million per tribal member, not family, per tribal member. One tribe gets so much money, no one in the tribe has to work, and I don't think works at all. Has Biden ever said to them, well, the Black Americans had it bad too, give some money to them? No. When the Japanese Americans got their checks, so Joe Crow Biden was in office. Y'all know that, right? He voted for that. Y'all know, right? The Japanese Americans get their checks. Did he say, I'm not going to vote for this until Black Americans get some too? No. So if anyone's trying to say that we ought to just continue suffering a debt that should have been paid to us centuries ago because other who are still suffering, they can shut the hell up with that disingenuous argument.
Fool, you got something to add on that before I start playing the video? You good?
Nah, go ahead. Do your thing.
So I will not stand here while anti-Semitic tropes are repeated.
That's not anti-Semitic. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. Anti-Semitic, that's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. Holocaust survivors are getting reparations. That is not anti-Semitic. That's the truth. And I will continue to do so in standing up for my ancestors, being speaking the truth. Holocaust survivors did get 14 choice facilitated. That is a fact. That is a fact. I don't know what it meant. All I know that my ancestors have not got gotten a penny. My ancestors have not gotten a penny. That's all I know. And it's an insult to the American government to facilitate a facilitation of payment to Holocaust survivors while my great-grandfather is still alive and he fought to save the Jews from the Nazis.
Excuse me. It is because I'm Jewish that I feel so strongly about reparations.
And I feel strongly about reparations for my people too.
Germany paid $89 billion in reparations to Jewish organizations long before 2014. The fact that I am from a people who was wronged and to whom Germany paid reparations, the fact that I am aware as a Jew that even though reparations doesn't mean the Holocaust didn't happen, any more than reparations to mean slavery didn't happen, reparations paid by Germany to the Jewish organizations that were not directed to Jews, they were to Jewish organizations, has gone far to establish not only financial
Yeah.
That is what, right here.
Obama administration has awarded $12 million for assistance to Holocaust survivors. This happened in October 2015. I don't lie, and I know my information.
You know what, Marcel, this is not right. This is not right. Actually, I'm more than glad to.
You cut me off. I was talking. You cut me off saying it was anti-Semitic. That's not what it was. I was telling the truth. I was telling the truth. You cut me off being anti-Semitic. I'm speaking for my answers. I'm telling the truth. I don't care who doesn't want to hear it.
The United States is not given $1.
I'm gonna pause it right there because
I want you to keep playing because I get fired.
I'm gonna let it play, but I want people to see what you were saying. The role of the United States in establishing and pursuing the right to Holocaust, even during World War II and throughout more than 8 decades until today, the United States has used its global prestige and international leadership to provide a measure of justice for and compensation to Holocaust victims, as the Department of State recently observed in its Just Act report. So she knows this, so she's lying.
Exactly. You know she knows it.
The facts disagree with you. The facts disagree with you. The facts disagree with you. The facts disagree with you.
Can we talk afterwards?
Sure.
We can move on to
I don't know if I can continue if this gentleman is going to come on.
Well, you shouldn't accuse me of being anti-Semitic.
We know you're not.
Exactly.
We know you're not, so it doesn't matter.
And I'm sorry that we have a chance because I do wish, I have stood for reparations. I do stand for reparations. I think reparations for slavery are important, actually. This gentleman is speaking to the issue of the American Conversion. I will say this because I think it is important. My reparations plan is for, in my proposal is for $1 trillion. This gentleman is absolutely correct, actually. If there were between 4 and 5 million enslaved people at the end of World War, at the end of the Civil War, Tecumseh Sherman did promise every formerly enslaved family of 4 40 acres and a mule. And that was a very serious thing. If you were to look at financial remuneration in terms of the value in today's terms, there would be trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. I think, and this is really for Black Americans to decide, it's not for me to decide. You have a candidate here, which is suggesting a plan that I believe in our generation could be politically feasible. If you feel, no, it's simply not enough money, we want 14 or 15 trillion, then I suppose you can, if you wish, wait for a president who might candidate, who might say 15 trillion, not for me to decide. In terms of the council, reparations council, instead of direct money to descendants of enslaved people, the issue is, I believe, if I owe you money, I don't get to tell you how to spend it. So I don't.
Why. Good job, bro. Good. Thank you.
Man, that's like, and to be honest with you, just so I can give you some asshole shit to do, so you can enjoy yourself. With what Jermaine just posted, you need to post that on Twitter and tag her and pretty much say, here's the facts that she and tag her name, wanted to deny about the U.S. government's involvement in helping the Holocaust victims get reparations. She should not be throwing that term anti-Semitic around like that.
Exactly.
It's a fucking trigger, and it's not fair. Yeah, and that's how you like, because once again, I'm thinking about you. Fuck her. When I say I'm thinking about you because when more people see that, they start saying, who is that? Who is that dude right there? And then they want to find out about you, and that's all you need. Because it's a matter of time before shit like that will go viral. And I don't know if you did it already. You need to post that shit on motherfucking TikTok.
Oh, it is. It's on TikTok, but on Twitter, I'm trying to find it right now. It has, let me see if I can find, I've gotten 2,000 followers with, 230 followers within the past. It's gotten how many views? Let me find it. It's going pretty viral on Twitter. It's gotten 142,600 views so far. And I just posted it last night. Also, I did post I posted 2 acts where America facilitated the $60 billion or million. I think it was 60 million. I can't remember. 60 million. It was $60 billion America facilitated in payments to Holocaust survivors from France. And guess what? In the case that the Holocaust survivors were dead, their spouses, if they were alive, or their children, or even their grandchildren got it. 2, America has earmarked money, Obama administration, to slow Joe Biden spearheaded this, $12 million to programs specifically help Holocaust survivors and their families who are struggling. But guess what, y'all? Check this out. I was doing research on my great-grandfather, World War II. So I was just looking up research, right? Did you know that even before the establishment of Israel, the day after America defeated the Nazis, guess one of the first things they did? They made Germany give the Jews back every slither of grass that they took for them. Yet, that same damn country was taking Black Americans' land left and right by lynch mob, racial massacres, and heirs property scams. But they had Black soldiers partially help make sure that the Jews got their land back from Germany. The anger is not because the Jews got justice. The anger is because that group is still getting justice today, and yet they have been silent and making sure that we get justice. We were instrumental in saving them. But first and foremost is that America is a hypocrite. The American government is a hypocritical government that has apparently different standards of justice for the Japanese who were interned. They pay reparations to them or to their loved ones. By the way, there's a second video, y'all. It's not of me. It's of the lady I was with asking Miriam about, well, why do you want to give our money to a group of people to decide? And she was like, well, the Japanese Americans, the difference is they were still alive. That's a lie. And I jumped in on this video too. I'm going to play that one if the woman who is the star of the video gives permission to play it, because it's mainly her, but if not, I can play my part. The Japanese Americans, when they got reparations in 1988, I was 4 years old, a lot of them were dead. They paid it to their surviving spouses or to their children, and in some cases, probably their grandchildren. The people of Guam, and I brought this up too, who just got reparations in 2016, they got it because of something that happened in World War II. A lot of them were dead. Most of them were dead. And yet it went to their descendants. So it's a lot of, I don't know if she's just dumb as hell, she hasn't, or she hasn't done her research, or she's just literally being disingenuous and wants to give this facade of being for the Blacks. It's like another form of pandering when you know you're not going to do a damn thing. I don't know which one it is.
It's the latter.
Exactly.
It's the latter. And what I got posted now, this is the Just Act. So the Just Act is justice for uncompensated survivors today. And this is what it said. It says the Senate Foreign Relations Committee passage of the Just Act is one more step toward ensuring justice for Holocaust survivors. Now, mind you, this was in December of 2017. That's 6 years. That's just 6 years ago.
That's yesterday.
And justice for Holocaust survivors and the families of Holocaust victims, said Rubio. By enhancing ongoing efforts between the State Department and European countries, this bill will help facilitate long-deserved restitution to survivors and their families whose property was stolen during the Holocaust. There it is.
Hypocritical. It's disgustingly hypocritical. And you know what? This is going to come back and burn this country down or shake this country down to its core. Every single time this country has tried to deny Black Americans the justice we were due, the Civil War happened. Okay? Then, before the Civil War, there was a lot of violence that was occurring over the splintering that was happening in this country over slavery. Then, during the Civil Rights era, look at all the violence that took place, the bloodshed, but then look at the violent riots that accumulated in when Dr. King was assassinated. And look at how it almost tore America down. This country has another opportunity to do right by Black Americans, but we have to accept there are so many white Americans who are so disgustingly anti-Black Americans that they'll rather see this country destroyed than Black Americans get justice. And guess what? They might get their wish, and they will get destroyed right along with it. And we as Black Americans are always the people saying that what needs to be done, justice that has been done for other groups already, that have been through far less, is what needs to be done to us. We are always the group trying to save this country for itself. Let's see if this country does better than what it did during the days of abolition, what it did during the days of civil rights legislation.
Sadly, I don't think it have it.
I don't think so either. But times have changed. First of all, social media exists now that didn't exist in the past. And yes, there are plenty of disgustingly anti-Black American white people who are just disgusting bigots who just need to die. And I'm going to stand on that. However, there are white Americans out there who are justice-minded. Again, y'all, I was on a Twitter space. I don't know if I said it to y'all. After it was all over, the crowd, which is an all-white crowd, except for me and the other Black woman I was with, and the Black woman, the Black people on her team, the crowd was amazing. All white, older mainly, and they all came to me and shook my hand and spoke with me at length about how they didn't know some of the things I was saying. So one lady told me she read a book about how the Homestead Act gave her family land. She didn't know how her family got that farm they grew up on. She found out her father got it from World War II, the GI Bill, excuse me, and the Black veterans she fought with didn't get it. One lady told me that her family has land out west because of the Homestead Act that gave $10 trillion to white Americans, 300 million acres. Like a lot of them were coming to me we was having open, honest conversations. Marianne Wilson's team, Macarius, Shatera, that beautiful Black woman that was handling the microphone, they were wonderful. This is not against them, but their candidate that they're supporting needs to be held accountable, and they agree with everything I was saying. The only person who was problematic was her. Now, she has an amazing team. She was the problematic person.
Well, I mean, I'll be glad if they do right, but in my opinion, man, this is check this
out real quick too. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah. One of them came to me and said, "Thank goodness you said it, because we have been trying to tell her." That's what they said. I'm not gonna say who said it.
Her own team.
Her
own team.
One of her team members. I'm not going to say who said it, because if she was that nasty towards me, you see, I ain't going to take it. Some people are a lot more mild, and y'all believe it or not, I'm actually a mild-tempered person, but when I'm standing up for my people, that has to go away, because someone has to. Now, if all of my Black brothers and sisters were there for me, I can sit back and be my more introverted, mild-mannered self. But when it's only me, I have to compensate for the fact that a lot of us aren't there. I have to represent our general interest. But someone from her team said it. They was like, "We have been trying to tell her."
Hey, she better be glad you ain't had your microphone, your
megaphone.
Yeah, your megaphone.
I left it in the car. I thought about going out there to get it, but I said, you know what? I think the acoustics is pretty good.
She better be glad she didn't get Warnocked. That's what we're gonna start calling it. She didn't get Warnocked.
And you know he's probably watching right now like the coward he is. Him and Clyburn skidding and grinning.
I don't know if you saw what I said in the beginning of the video, but on May 19th, it's going to be a bunch of people going to Malcolm X's grave up in New York. You might want to make a trip to New York because that's going to be a group of people that you may want to link up with, yo.
Okay.
Because
I will look into it. Y'all, here's the honest truth that's going on with me. I'm spreading myself way too thin, and it's not good for my mental health. I can't do everything. So I've been trying to make it to a lot of different events, and I got to a point where, I'm in school. I am working again, thank goodness, even though it's not full time. And really, y'all, I don't think I can do full time and try to do office, but I got to make a living somehow. So that's the conundrum I'm always in. You see, it's a lot of sacrifices we all make when we're putting the needs of our people ahead of ourselves. And I'm not going to go I'm not going to talk about all the things that's going on with me, but just know major sacrifices, opportunities I could have had to be a little more comfortable. I've given up because I have to have time for this. But I've also found out, even here in South Carolina, I can't make it everywhere. There's a lot of events happening all the time. I have a little group called the 4.0 Society. It's a group of South Carolina-based reparationists. I'm gonna be very honest. They're all probably on cold, but only a few of them actually doing anything. And that's how it usually is. But we gotta stop it. Just because that's how it usually is doesn't mean that's the way it needs to be. It's like over 100 of us, and a lot of them are young black men. Out of those young black men, I'll say like 4 to 6 I could depend on to actually show up when I need them. The rest, they see me, ask for help, they say nothing. It could be something as simple as a retweet. They won't do it. And now you got some of the women that show up. A lot of women don't do anything either. I cannot do it all. So when events like what Shaquan mentioned, I would love to go to, but I have to really spend all my time and energy here in South Carolina. Now, here's the thing that's happened. I was in Savannah, Georgia today. I know Savannah's right across the bridge. Savannah, this is my area. It's Savannah, Georgia, Hilton Island, South Carolina metropolitan area. And a guy stopped the car, and I thought he was waiting for me to walk the street, and he was like, "Hey, Marcel, what's up?" And he was like, "Yeah, I saw you on Tariq." So I was at one of my restaurants I love to go to eating some shrimp and grits, and this lady husband worker, it was like, "Marcel." And and then I was at a school board meeting to support a friend because she wanted me to be there with her. And the cameraman was like, "Marcel." So and then yesterday, when I went to Marianne Williamson's thing, so I walked to the door. "Hey, Marcel." And it was her state director, Marcarius. I'm like, "Oh, hey, I don't know how people be knowing me." Because, so my name is getting out there. Now, then Shatera, the young woman with the microphone, even I was like, I'm not hosting it. She was like, "Oh no, trust me." Yes, you are. So people may know me, y'all, but that's not. It's so much energy that's required to get people to actually get up to vote for you. Some people think, like when last election, I just didn't have the capacity. Some people needed rides. I couldn't even handle the phone calls that would come my way. People reporting they don't see my name. Some reported they needed a ride. People asking me, "Hey, how do I vote for you? Can I vote online?" And I said, "Well, did you register to vote?" "No, I thought you could register the day of." "No." "Can you vote online?" "No."
Right.
And so our people, but that is deliberate. That's deliberate. Right. They don't want our people to be educated. But the point I'm making, y'all, is I am at my wit's end. I am one person. So things like if you call what you want to do, one, I have to have the campaign donations coming in to make those trips. And then I have to know that if I have to go to places like that where I can make good connections, someone here will be holding down the fort for me, canvassing and getting my name out, because I cannot have the day for election to come around and I don't do any better than I did last time. Yes, my main focus was to get the message out about reparations. Make sure that there is not a damn place they can go where they are not going to hear about reparations. And I feel I'm doing that. But I do want to give it my best shot at winning too. And people have to see me 24/7. This is hard for me because I am not a public person. I'm very introverted. So
here's the reason why I'm telling you this. And I'm only telling you this for this specific reason. Obviously, you have somewhat of a relationship with Tariq Nasir.
Yes.
Well,
he's been very supportive.
Have you watched Hidden Colors?
I saw the first one because my brother.
Okay, here's the reason why I asked you that.
Okay.
Do you remember Professor James Small?
Yeah, I know him. Yeah, okay, he's from South Carolina,
Now This how this thing plays out, and even better. I talked to him on the phone last night.
Okay.
And he's the one that told me to come to the event when they go to Malcolm X's gravesite. So what I'm saying to you is, imagine you being there and you have that conversation with him face to face. He's from South Carolina, and utilize his connection.
I've met him before. We met face to face. We was both at Tariq Nasheed's rally for reparations. He actually gave me his number.
Okay.
I have yet to call him, but it's definitely on my to-do list. Y'all, I have a team. Here's another thing, y'all. This is a good problem to have. So I have a team now. I had to hire 2 people. Well, 3. One of them is doing 2 jobs. So it's technically 2 people, but one's doing 2 jobs. Administrative assistants, a deputy finance manager, and a research assistant. Of course, I have my treasurer, I have my campaign manager, and I have a lovely woman. I don't know if she want me to say her name. Well, Sharice, I'm going to say her name. She'll probably be mad, whatever. Who's like being my almost voluntary event coordinator. So it's wonderful people help me, y'all, but it's a good thing that my campaign is growing so much that I can't keep up with it. That's a good sign. It has life. But it's a bad sign that it's growing so much that I can't keep up with it. You get me? Yeah. So I need to call Professor James Small, and he gave me his number back in November 2022. But because I've been dealing with so many, I haven't had a chance to call him. But I will be calling Professor James Small. I met him. He's a wonderful guy. He's from South Carolina. He has family here. Hell, I might be his family for all we know, because he has family. He's more in the Myrtle Beach area, not quite the Low Country, but it's on the coast. So it's in the same region.
Right. So Marcel, you kind of segue into where I wanted to go, because so now that you pretty much last election cycle, you dipped your toe into it. You saw what's going on. What's your strategy now that you got an election cycle under your wing? Now you got another one that's coming up here shortly. What's the game plan? What's the difference? What have you learned from the last time that you're going to do this time coming up?
Be visible. It's not that I didn't want to do it the last time, but I was brand new. Y'all, I'm a very introverted person. People in my town like rarely see me out. Okay, that's how I'm a teacher. Most teachers usually want to stay out of the mix. You're not going to be on the scene and stuff like that. And I lived my life that way. My family was always a pretty introverted family. Like, some people know my oldest brother, and people know us, but they don't know us be out like that. So this is new to me. Every time I go somewhere alone, and a lot of times I am alone, and I hand out flyers to people, y'all have no idea how intimidating that is for me. But I do it because it can't be about me, it's be about us. But that's what has to happen. I have to be visible. I don't have any fancy, sexy answer. That's really the thing that's the missing link, that visibility, knocking on doors, handing out flyers. I haven't been knocking on doors, but I've been canvassing everywhere. I have gotten people who say, I'm going to tell my father about you. You never know where those things are going to go. Sometimes I may see the same person the next day and I give them a flyer all over again. They may say, I already got one. I say, hey, well, take one and give it to your sister. Take one and give it to your brother. That is the missing link. And more people doing that is what I need. It really is an easy formula for winning elections. Visibility. And y'all know they used to say it takes 6 contacts before a person even remembers you. Nowadays, it's 12 because of social media. So they have to see you a minimum of 12 times. Doesn't have to be direct contact, but TV, billboards. So that's where donations come in. Donations and commercials can get into people's home where I can't get. But that's another issue, y'all. Yes, people are donating to me. Y'all donate a lot to me, actually. But a lot for me is chump change to Clyburn. Right. For me to be in the big league, I got to be bringing in far more money than I'm bringing in. I've already did the formula. I had 21,000 followers like 2 months ago. Now I'm almost at 27,000. But 20,000 followers, I did the math, and I'm not a mathematician. I hate math. That's why I never really wanted to teach it. 21,000 followers, $5 per follower each month is $105,000 a month. That may not be Clyburn money, but for a guy like me, look at what we did. It's not me. Look at what we did the first election with what I brought in. Okay, the fact that I got almost 5% of the vote in just 3 months being an unknown is something that shouldn't happen, because other candidates who were just like me, very grassroots, got less than 1%. I can do that, but I don't know what else to do. I mean, people see I record everything I do. I show up. I speak up for us. I do events. I give speeches. I'm organizing. I'm doing state level things with the Black Democrats, but they have no power. So I'm working a lot with the white Republicans to do things specific for Black Americans. I don't know what more to do to get people to see that I am really trying to make this happen, and you just need to donate so I can do it.
Have you tried to, like some of the other candidates that may be running against him? Have you tried to have conversation with them and say, hey, let's join up? And because right now y'all fighting against it's almost like a guy, an artist who has a Def Jam or a big record label behind him, feeding him a big machine, and you're independent, so to speak. So, I mean, I think that may be a way where y'all can kind of, combat that, maybe link up with somebody who have like-minded ideas.
They move very differently from me. Very different. That's all I'm going to say. But we have spoken before. One of them wanted me to kind of do like a unity thing, but I told them I am not going to be your tap dancing Negro. He's a Black guy too, Gullah Geechee for the Low Country, but I said you can have a Black agenda before I give any even pretense of my support for you. And we spoke. We spent hours coming with a good plan. He's a Republican, but when it was time to actually debut it, he chickened out. Well, I got to get there first. Here's something y'all need to remember. If the way a person runs for office is the best indicator of how they're going to be when they get in office. So if you're already if you're already scared to stand up for us now, you're going to do that much more so when you get in office, because you got to keep governing the way you ran, because you got to keep the same base. You need to be who you are now. So I didn't show up. And the other guy, I'm not sure if he's going to run again, but if not, we'll see. I really feel and he should just throw his support behind me as well, because I'm the best candidate. But he may not feel that way. But here's what I have done too to help me systemically. I have hired a fundraising consultant. Okay, well, I'm working with a fundraising consultant, I should say. And this is a person who has been pretty successful, because if I get the money in, I can pay people to knock on doors. I can pay people to canvas events. But the thing of the matter, y'all, if we truly want reparations to happen and we want to complain about people who are not doing things for us, then, you don't have to support me, but we need to examine, ask ourselves, why would you not support someone who is running on a platform and doing the things for us that we say no one else, and we get mad that no one else wants to do for us? That's the thing we have to ask.
I got a couple questions for you, Marcel. My first question is, how many votes did Clyburn coon ass get?
He only got 48,000 in the primary, and that's even with Kamala Harris endorsing him. He still could not even cross 50,000. Okay.
So here's the reason why I'm asking you that. So is 50,000 voters per se? Is that like a magic number for you?
For the primary, I will say getting 50 to 60,000. Yes, that will definitely be a victory for me, because the voter turnout in District 6 is very, very low. It was less than 12% came out to vote.
All right, I'm about to put you onto something if you aren't already on it. Have you ever heard of the Nextdoor app?
No.
Go on your phone and type in Nextdoor.
Okay.
Now, it's a long shot, because I don't know if the people in your area rock with it like that. But the Nextdoor app are people who live in a particular area. So I'm saying that to say to you, you can treat it like Facebook. Start posting in there. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what I just did. Now, mind you, I ain't running for no motherfucking office.
Right.
I put a post in there about how people shouldn't be buying that Nestle Pure Life water. So as people like it and or comment on it, I immediately send them a message saying, thanks for liking the comment, or thanks for liking the post, or whatever. We got to do to go against this bullshit ass company or something like that. Then I make sure that I add them as a friend. Now, mind you, these are people in the area. The great thing about it is you live there. I mean, number one, you live there, which is cool. But now you have that connection with those particular people, and it's not an email list or anything like that. And because of based on what you said, what if you make a post and you get 20 people real quick that may like the post, this, that, whatever, and they might be in the area. Then you say to them, don't forget to register to vote. Maybe get 10 of your friends to register to vote. Get your friends on this app. And I'm saying that to you because little shit like that, especially nowadays, his old ass ain't gonna do. And the more grassroots you really are like that, it would help you out tremendous. Like that shit will help you out tremendously. So definitely look into that shit. I'll text you the app. Don't worry about it. I ain't even gotta look for it. I'll text it to you right now.
I think, is it like a Craigslist, similar something
Somewhat,
like that?
but it's more like Facebook, because when you see how it must have changed. That shit really looks like Facebook. You can do live videos and everything on there. So for me personally, at this particular juncture for you, between the Nextdoor app and TikTok, if you focus on that shit, the numbers could get crazy for you. But I also know that the challenge is, number one, these motherfuckers got to donate some money. And number two, they actually got to get out and vote, because the talking, that shit ain't going, it's not enough. But the great thing that you have is you have such a big district, but the voter turnout is trash. So if you can get some new voters out that fuck with you like that, it's a wrap, yo.
So here's the thing, here's how that happens. It's easy with Black Americans. It takes money. The more people see you, the more they hear your message. When I first started, I would talk about reparations to people, and it still happens, but not as much any longer. And I would say reparations. People would look at me like, reparations, huh? Like, it's like something that we are programmed not to think about ourselves. Now, though, I talk to people and be like, hell yeah, they owe us money. The more our people hear the message, our people start to gravitate to it. So they just got to see me more and hear me more. But y'all, thank y'all for having me back. I really, really enjoyed it. And I hope to be back on here soon. And by the way, Fuqua, I want to say, I really was proud how you went to that town hall. I know it was a while ago, about Stacey Abrams. I really wish I could be there, because the disconnect. Now, what the lady was saying, and I want to, because I have to go through what the lady was saying about reparations being a tax issue, that's not true on the federal level. I guess she was referring to on the state level, which it does involve taxes there, but it would still BS. But here's the problem. You should not have been the only person bringing that up. They should have come to us with things like that for us. Like they come to all these other group with things. So y'all, that's what we got to do more. Show up, speak out. Thank y'all, okay?
All right, man. Appreciate you coming on.
You're welcome anytime you want. You already know the deal.
Thank y'all. Okay.
All right. Man, we going when is the next election?
24.
He up, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that Clyburn is up for election again in 2024?
I think so. I mean,
hold up, yo. I want to know, because, and I guess we should have asked him that. Um, 2025.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Excuse me. Clyburn is next up for re-election in 2024 and serves until January. Okay, it is 2024.
Right.
Okay.
So he will serve until 2025.
Yes, he will serve until January, and it just should say he is 82 years old. My man. All right. See, something like that, and even with Marcel coming on and saying certain things that he said, I got to make sure that I get me a Marcel for Congress shirt and rock the hell out that shit. Because the one thing about our people is we always everywhere, and more than likely somebody got some family in South Carolina. It's just about finding that area. And what really gets me though is what he said about them numbers, my man. 50,000? God damn. So it's a particular group he has to hit that could just come out and it'd be a wrap. Because that, to me, those numbers are the motherfuckers who vote all the time.
But his challenge is going to be these old people who, like, some of the people I know that's from down there. It's like, Clyburn is great. He's done. They think that he can't do no wrong in their eyes.
Yeah, we gotta. What about? I wonder. I mean, I know that he covers. I know you said where Sheree go to college. I remember you said that.
He down by the coast, like down by the coast. So like right before you get to like Myrtle Beach and all that kind of he's Hampton, Orangeburg, down that way. Excuse me.
Here's the sick part, my man, which is it's crazy, but it's going to need to get done. What's going to push him over the top is white donors. White donors are going to push him over the top, but he has to just find them per se. And the crazy thing about me that I immediately thought about when he was talking, and you said something too, is South Carolina. He needs to we got to figure out a way for him to have a fundraiser golf tournament. A fundraiser golf tournament will bring out the right people. You muted.
He would probably be against this. But if he ran Republican and get the GOP behind him, he probably could take his ass out.
I don't think he will be. I don't think he'll be against that because it turns. I think the GOP will be against it because they know they can't control him. See, that's
well, yeah, right.
That's
right.
where the shit kind of shifts. But
but to get him out, they'll be like, okay, get him, and then we'll just primary him the next time with 1 hour, somebody we can control. I mean, they may do it that way, but you know, at least he'll get a whole term. To
he might need to have a sit down with Tim Scott, coon ass.
Yeah, just a thought if he's still watching. But yeah, man. Hey, great show again, man.
Fam, we get him elected. I guess I'm really gonna have to come to South Carolina. I'm gonna go play golf, of course.
Of course. It's a nice golf course down there where he at. You go to Myrtle Beach.
Bro, remember, so he's not that far from Myrtle Beach? Like is any of his district in Myrtle Beach?
I don't think so.
Yeah, see, that's what I need to kind of see how that can play out, because a lot of the brothers that I know that I play golf with too, like I got some shit I'm gonna figure out, yo, to do my part to help him. And I meant to ask him about it, but I'll talk to him about it. Is the radio stations. Like, what's up with the radio stations down there? Because to me, the way he gonna win is young people.
Yeah.
You get the young people, that's gonna knock out them old motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say this, I'm gonna say it in code, and you know what I'm talking about. With certain things that have happened, a lot of them old motherfuckers you was talking about, they ain't here. Well, it's a bunch of them that ain't here no more because they trusted these motherfuckers. So unfortunately, it is what it is, yo. But we did, as usual, we had another great show. Marcel came on and did his thing. He don't shut another politician down, which is fucking funny. Shut her ass completely up.
Oh, his district is Charleston. Charleston got some nice beaches and nice beach and golf area. Golf course.
You said Charleston?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What I'm gonna do, which I'm glad you just said that. I know somebody personally. He a Scorpio. We got cool because he's the husband of one of my exes from a while back. Their family is in Charleston, but he has a very successful business. I'm gonna see if I can get him to link up with Marcel. Like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send him this particular episode. And I'm like, yo, Vince, make sure you check this out and put your support behind this brother because he needed. Y'all need some change down there. And because he in Charleston, that's a good look. And you know how that shit is. Everybody know everybody down there. It's just a matter. And he's our age, which is also a good look.
All right, cool.
All right. Well, for everybody out there, as usual, we appreciate the support. We appreciate the love. We started at one point. It's about 11 of y'all on live. Just make sure you spread this and share and like this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. The other thing is make sure you donate to Marcel's campaign. Y'all will be surprised how much $10 can go. $5, $10 straight up. And tell other people to do the same thing, because that's all he needs. He just needs the money to push his machine. So we'll see y'all next week. We appreciate the support and the love. And as usual, we can't thank y'all enough.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. I know you're out there. I can feel you now.
Why don't you go the opposite way?
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you.